Are you wanting to change your body, get in a healthier body, fix your digestion, fix your gut, get rid of the inflammation, but at the same time, you are craving this deep acceptance of yourself, of your body that doesn't need any fixing or any changing? Well, we're gonna dive deep into it today. Welcome back to the podcast team. I am Caroline, where every week we dive into my lived experience, life experience, all the golden nuggets I've picked up along the way, and the framework that I take each and every client through to get to a place where they are not only lean, they're not only healthy, their hormones aren't only balanced, their gut isn't completely happy, but they are confident in their skin. They have a rock solid mindset that allows them to continue to develop and grow and get bigger and bigger, and they trust their bodies. They trust themselves to continue to move forward every single day, knowing that that looks different in different seasons. And today we're talking about the deep desire that you have to just be yourself, fully accept yourself, love your body acceptance, not feel like you need to change and fix everything at the same time, while simultaneously you have this calling for a higher degree of health. Maybe you do want to shed some pounds. Maybe you do want to be leaner, feel more confident in a bikini, have a whole week go by without bloating. Allow yourself to go eat out knowing that you're not going to wake up the next morning all puffy and sick and feeling like trash. This is the middle ground that I help so many women in my program through. Maybe you've even tried the strict routine, eating perfectly, cutting carbs, cutting sugar, doing the cardio, hitting your steps, tracking every bite on MyFitnessPal, and then you completely burned out and swung the other way, letting go of all of the rules. You followed your cravings, eating whatever sounded good. You only moved your body when it felt good. You only went to the gym when you were motivated. No real plan in place, and you were just following the vibes. And then the aftermath came. You maybe gained a few pounds. Your hormones were all wonky, so your energy tanked. 3 p.m. hit and you needed a third cup of coffee. Maybe all of the progress that you found before you were just watching slowly slip away, and you were feeling worse and worse and worse. And on top of all, that inner shame crept back in because deep down you started questioning, do I even deserve that body, the health, and the life that I say I want? So let's just be honest. Neither ends of those extremes really work long term. Yes, we can do them in short little bursts, but after a while, they burn us out on either end of the stick. And that's exactly what we're unpacking this week. What real balance actually looks like and how to get there. Not the kind that steals your joy or the kind that makes you have to be 100% perfect in this rigid plan that leaves burnout in all of the things that I'm sure you've already experienced. Because rigid structure isn't the answer, and neither is complete freedom. The perfect balance is learning to listen to your body and lead with intention, to pivot when needed, and to also have standards that uphold you with love and empowerment. And so this is where it starts, with standards. Not rules, not rigidity, not I have to do this to get here, but personal standards that come from self-respect. We're done with the self-rejection. Because although when you get into that place of freedom where there's no rules, you're just following what feels good in the moment, that is actually self-rejection. That is self-sabotage. Because you say you want X, Y, and Z, yet you're acting like this to try to prove to yourself that you accept yourself where you are, but then deep down, you feel worse than where you were before. You look in the mirror and you're not actually proud of what's there. We need this masculine structure, this framework to follow, but as women, we also need the space to flow and to pivot and to learn how to listen to our bodies because we're cyclical. And if that is already a hard concept for you to absorb, we're gonna unpack it a little later in this episode, so keep listening. Because every single week, every single day may look different for you, and that is the reality of it. And it's a beautiful thing. The sooner we stop fighting that as women we need to pivot and change, the sooner you'll notice how much more energy, clarity, and momentum you actually have. So that means some days, yes, you show up tired, you show up unmotivated, you show up moody, and you still follow through. And some days you listen to your body and you allow rest. You allow yourself to reset without guilt. Both are powerful and both are necessary, but they're not the extremes that I was talking about earlier. Those extremes where you were stuck to MyFitnessPal, you were stuck to your workout routine, you said no to fun plans with friends because you didn't want to eat out at the restaurant, or you couldn't go on vacation because you'd missed the gym. That structure probably left you burnt out and broken. And so we also, as part of this process, need to start healing your relationship with structure itself, because structure is not the problem. Your self-punishment is. So we're talking about gentle guidance, clear standards, and aligned action. And that is the roadmap. And that's what brings your goals to life every single day without burning you out. Because yes, your goals matter. Your body does deserve respect and acceptance where it is right now. And respect looks like showing up for you in this moment and the future you that has more. So let's dive in. The first step to this process is we need to uncover and fully accept what you want. So let's get freaking radically honest with yourself right now. Think about your life, think about your body, and think about your health. Think about how you feel during the day, what you do all day, where you spend your time, how you eat, where you invest resources, what you spend your money on. Is that actually what you want? Or do you want something different? Do you want to have energy that lasts all day without caffeine? Do you want to be able to eat pretty much whatever you want without getting insanely bloated that keeps you back from the plans? Do you want regular digestion that allows you to feel confident to go out into public, out on a trip, out to work? Do you want to sleep better at night without relying on medication or melatonin? Do you want to tone up? Do you want to build strength? Do you want to build muscle and get leaner? Do you want to eat healthier without obsession or restriction? Do you want to feel balanced with knowing when to push, when to soften? Do you want hormones that are balanced and support a regular mood, that allow you to have emotional resilience, that allow you to not feel puffy and inflamed all the time? You're not running on cortisol anymore. You're in sync with your body. Do you want to get rid of the sugar cravings and late night binges? If any of those ring a bell, accept that. Let that be true to you. Say, I want this, and allow yourself to want it. Take all of the logic, the reasoning, the judgment, throw it out the window, and accept what you want. And allow yourself to want that. Because wanting something different does not mean that you have to deny who you are right here and right now. It means that you know what you're capable of and you're willing to hold yourself to a high standard. And if you've never allowed yourself to think of something different, I want you to start letting your imagination run. Maybe before bed tonight, you close your eyes and you just take some deep breaths and dream and wonder about what is bigger and better out there for you. What body do you want to be in? What health status do you want? Do you want to get off all these medications? Do you want to lose weight? Do you want to have more energy to play with the kids after work? Do you want to have the energy to meal prep and show up for yourself? Taking deep breaths while you let your imagination run will not only allow your mind to accept it more, but also your nervous system. Without going too deep into it, your nervous system and your unconscious mind are the reason that you are where you are and not where you want to be. Because your nervous system and your mind send security alarms off every single time you try to do something that is unfamiliar and different. And if you've been stuck in a familiar bubble in your comfort zone for a long time, even thinking about something different is going to feel uncomfortable. So if it feels uncomfortable, just know that that's not because it's wrong. That's not because it's bad. That's not because it's so out of reach. It means it's new, and new is good. New is exciting. So number 2, once we accept where we are and where we want to go and allow ourselves to have those goals, those visions, those dreams, then you need to let go of any past failure. Maybe you've tried to lose weight before. Maybe you've tried to get your lab work to come back normal. Maybe you've tried a quick fix and it just backfired and made everything worse. Maybe you've lost 10 pounds and then gained back 12. Maybe you've lost 50 pounds and then gained back 30 pounds. Maybe you feel like you've tried everything and it didn't work. And guess what? That's okay, because you're here now and we can try something different. So the shame that has occurred from being in these cycles of trying and then failing and trying and then sabotaging, whatever story you're telling in your head, that you can't do it, you're not good enough, you don't deserve it, I want you to look at that like a little gremlin in your brain that is just feeding you misinformation, because that is not the truth. The resentment and fear that you have behind, I'll mess up, I'll never get there, I'll lose my progress, that is real. And that is the biggest block to being your healthiest, most confident self right here and right now. Which is another reason why my coaching program might be the perfect thing for you right now, because I can't ethically or morally hop on this podcast and walk you through these deep brain reframes and unconscious reprogramming and regulating your nervous system, because I don't know your unique story. I don't know where you are and where you want to go. My one-on-one coaching program walks you through the steps of being able to go from I can't, I'm broken, something's wrong to me, to I am, I will, I'm doing, I'm showing up, I'm proud, and I trust myself. So get somebody on your team that can help you more through these blocks, because guess what? That is the past. We don't have to be that person anymore, as long as you claim this vision, claim this goal, and forgive yourself. The actions that you put in to bring this vision and goal into life are only going to stick long-term if your unconscious mind and your nervous system are also on page. So once we've allowed ourselves to fully believe in our dream and you've let go of the past, you need to create structure that's going to hold you accountable to taking those steps despite your nervous system maybe freaking out, your mind telling you, what the heck are you doing? And your safety mechanisms turning on. So we need structure. What does healthy structure even look like? Healthy structure is holding yourself accountable, right? It's not forcing yourself to do something. It's holding yourself accountable to your goals. If you want a healthy, lean body, you need to eat nutrient-dense whole foods and move your body regularly, right? We knew that. If you needed more information, nobody in this world would be sick. There is so much information out there. So we can all agree that to be lean, to be healthy, to have a happy, healthy gut and balanced hormones and feel confident in your body in that bikini, you need to eat whole foods that are nutrient dense and move, whatever that looks like for you. So why aren't you there right now? Because you need to have healthy structure and allow yourself to follow it. Maybe you want healthier sleep patterns. Maybe you want to get off your sleep meds and ditch the caffeine. Well, your hormones need healthy balancing and signaling, right? Which also needs nutrient-dense whole foods. Whatever your goal is right now, I'm sure eating nutrient-dense whole foods and moving your body is a pillar of that framework. So let's just start there and use that as an example. Start with breakfast. Start introducing structure into your day. Regulate your nervous system in your mind to this is safe and I can rely on this structure to take me where I want to go. So every morning, start eating breakfast within 60 minutes of waking up. This will signal to your body that you're safe. It will give you fuel to start the day. And we're going to make it protein, fat, and carbohydrate centered. Get at least 30 grams of protein. Maybe throw in some eggs and some ground beef with some spinach. Make a little egg spinach galore with a piece of sourdough toast on the side. 30 grams of protein, maybe a handful of carbohydrates, like look at your hand, the size of the palm of your hand, and 2 eggs, half an avocado, some olive oil, a little bit of fat. And you know what that's gonna do? You're gonna show up every single morning and start giving yourself breakfast. And by doing that consistently, you're gonna signal to your body with the food. You're gonna physically signal to your body that I'm safe. Your hormones will be happy and responding to it. You are gonna have energy more all day. You are going to have energy to go to the gym after work or meal prep or play with your kids, but you're also gonna be sending signals to your nervous system. Signals to your nervous system that say, I am safe with structure. I can rely on myself to show up for me every single day. I can wake up and do something even if I don't want to do it because I know that it's going to support me in the long run and I'm okay and I survive. And it's going to show your unconscious programming in your mind that says you suck, you can't do anything right, that actually I've been showing up for myself every single morning. I've been showing up for myself to eat breakfast, and it's in line with my goals. It supports my body, my mind, and my health, and I'm gonna keep doing it. And then once you get used to that, we can add in lunch and then add in dinner. And then before you know it, you are following a structure and allowing yourself to pivot as needed, which is what we're going to talk about in a moment. So it is normal for your mind and your body to freak out if you introduce something new, if you introduce structure. And I talked about it a little bit before, but if you have ever been through a phase where you were hyper rigid on yourself and it caused burnout, you may need to heal some wounds that you have with that structure. And this is how we're going to do it with baby steps. Add one thing in. Add in the breakfast until that feels safe and secure. Then add in maybe your whole diet. You ditch processed foods for a while. So when you start going to the grocery store and only filling your cart with produce and meats and veggies and fruit in the perimeter of the grocery store, your body's going to be like, wait, what about the stuff in the aisles? This feels unsafe. And you're just going to remind yourself, no, this is in line with my goals. And then every time you do it, it's just going to feel easier and easier and easier. You're going to say no to the sugary donut at work, and your body's going to be like, what? No, we need it. And you're going to say, no, remember, this is what we're doing now. And then you just keep layering and layering and layering, and your body and your mind are going to start to soften. And listen to me, it's completely normal for your mind and brain to freak out when you start adding structure in if it's new. So we're going to use the nervous system regulation, use your breath, learn how to bring your body down to that calm, centered state, and refocus on number one, which was allowing yourself to want that goal and forgiving yourself for any past mess up, failures, whatever label you put on it. And then knowing that you're going to continue to show up for yourself. So you've allowed yourself to dream. You've forgiven yourself for any past transgressions, mess ups, failures, burnout. You've added in some gentle structure and devotion to that goal. And now we need to learn how to pivot. Because listening to your body is a skill and a practice. And right off the bat, I'm going to tell you that it's a skill and practice that is never going to be perfect. And one that is going to take time to build. I now know my body pretty freaking well that I am confident in listening to it. Yes, sometimes I'm like, oh, I could have chosen something else. But at the end of the day, if I'm listening to my body, I know that I'm acting in alignment. And it took a lot of time. I used to be so disconnected from my body for so many years that things like self-harm, restriction, punishment, putting drugs into my system was the norm. I was always burnt out, always hustling harder, pushing myself further. So if any of that resonates to you even right now, remember that this is a practice and we're just going to keep adding those layers and building that trust, and it will get better. I promise. So let's talk about how to make that shift happen from being so disconnected from our body that we use it as a tool to gauge whether we're good or bad, and we punish it for not being good, to a place where it's our leading force. Well, ladies, like I talked about at the beginning, we are cyclical human beings. Right here, right now, I want to bust the myth that we can operate like men. You cannot wake up every single day and do the same thing and get the results that you want. Because every single week of the month, you are in a different place, physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. And allow yourself these cycles. So yes, have structure, and then allow yourself to pivot. Maybe the first week after your period and the second week after your period, you have more energy. You're a little bit more social the second week of the month. So you can plan in your social events that week. And then the week right before your period, you need more rest and recovery. So you close down maybe your social events. You put energy where you want it, like moving your body and showing up for work and fueling yourself. And guess what? That is okay. So I'm not going to go too deep into this episode, but just know that this is a practice and we're going to learn how to listen to our bodies. So the biggest the biggest tool I already mentioned was your breath and allowing yourself to accept your goals. So when you feel tired, when you feel like you don't want to do something, when you feel unmotivated to follow that structure that you've put in place, I want you just to take like 3 big breaths and check in with your body and see what it needs before you make a decision. Just a short little break to check in and see what needs to happen. And so what's going to happen here is you're either going to feel your body tell you something or you're going to try to be figuring it out. And I challenge you to try to differentiate the logic in your mind that tells you have to do something and your body telling you if you need to pivot or if this is just a tired day where we're going to show up anyways. And it's a practice. So I'm going to remind you again. So putting this into practice, let's say tomorrow morning you wake up completely exhausted. You're laying in bed, you have absolutely no energy, you just want to cancel everything for the day, you want to order DoorDash and pancakes and waffles and whatever just makes you feel better. In the past, you either forced yourself just to get up and push harder and show up for the things regardless, or you've canceled everything, ordered the waffles and said F it for the rest of the day. And we're here to find that middle ground. So this is how I want it to go for you. You're going to pause. Take 3 big belly breaths and check in with your body and ask what it needs. Because maybe it does need a 10-minute meditation just to chill out before you go throughout the rest of the day. And then you can carry on that day like you normally would. Maybe it needs for you just to take things a little bit slower. So instead of going to the gym today, you're just going to go on a 20-minute walk with your dog around the block. Maybe it really needs rest and all you can do is show up for your non-negotiables. Like you have to clock in at work, you have to pick up the kids, and you have to cook dinner. So you cancel your evening plans so that you can rest because you know you're going to have to push through the day a little bit and you're going to be extra exhausted. So if you need rest, do not throw in the towel for the rest of the day. Allow yourself to pivot and find that middle ground. If you feel like your day is already planned, you're feeling tired, but your body honestly feels okay, maybe it's a day that you prove to yourself that you can show up tired. I can't answer that question for you because this is the practice where you're going to start checking in, being able to start listening and using your inner guidance and your body as a tool to set the pace. So you just need to make one choice that honors what your body needs. And we're going to start stacking those layers. Do not expect your body to tell you everything right off the bat. You have to regain the trust with it. So make one choice that honors the need when you wake up a little off kilter. Like I said, maybe this means leaving work a little bit earlier or canceling the evening plans or going on a walk instead of to the gym, doing a small little meditation, saying you're going to be an hour late to work so that you can just go the long route and get a decaf coffee on the way in. Whatever it is, just remember that when you come up with that resistance, we don't go to the extremes of throwing in the towel or completely pushing through. We find the middle ground and we check in with our bodies. We notice if it's actually fear or if it's actually feeling tired, if it's real resistance or if it's our mind's anxiety giving up. So give yourself peace and grace as you go into these deeper dives within yourself. So let's recap. Number 1, you need to fully allow yourself to claim what you want. Even if it feels completely ridiculous, you've never seen it done, you've never done it yourself, it feels too far away to be true, let it be true. Let your imagination run. This is your life and you get to do whatever you want with it. You can be healthy, you can be toned, you can have the butt and the abs and eat healthy, but also have the burger and also drink the margarita every once in a while. Whatever it is you want, you freaking go get it. And then number 2, you forgive yourself for all the past quote unquote failures, all the past sabotages, all the times you were almost there and you didn't get there, all the doubt. Just say, you know what? Those were learning lessons and I'm doing different now. And we dive deep into this in my one-on-one coaching program. So please go to the show notes and fill out a coaching inquiry if you're like, yes, that is what is blocking me, because I guarantee that is your biggest block. Because getting to number 3, where we invite the gentle structure in, we want to make sure that it's that gentle structure, right? We don't want to go back to the extreme of everything has to be on point. We invite the gentle structure and start laying it on brick by brick by brick by brick so our nervous system, our mind, and our body can acclimate so that it feels safe and expansive, not so scary that you run for the hills as soon as it gets hard. And the ability to pivot, using your body to guide those pivots, using your body to tell you when we need to change the way that we're approaching this day. Because when we rest today and tomorrow, then the next day we're actually going to be way more productive and actually get things done because we're not going to be so burnt out from pushing through the next 2 days. And if you haven't gotten the take-home message, it is a practice. You are not going to be perfect at it tomorrow. You're not going to be perfect at it in a week. You're actually never going to be perfect at it because perfect isn't even real, right? You are here to have your unique experience, and who you are right now is enough, is good enough, and you're allowed to want more. So let's freaking get it, because you no longer need to be stuck in the cycles of burnout with either over-disciplining yourself or being so loosey-goosey with your mind and your habits that you create even more dysfunction and ill health. Because guess what? You're going to pay for it later no matter what. There is a middle ground, and you now have the framework to reach it. And if this resonates with you and you're ready for support and you actually want to do something about it, like I said, go into the show notes, fill out the coaching inquiry, at least sign up for my weekly emails, because I can tell you with utmost confidence, whoever you are, wherever you've been, whatever you want, whatever you're doing, there is more out there for you, and you are allowed to claim that. And you probably just need a different approach. You are here to do big, amazing things and deserve to be proud of yourself and deserve to be proud of how you show up every single day. And you also deserve to be proud of the body that you show up in, because you are allowed to want that. So let's freaking go make it happen. You guys are freaking rock stars. Go get it.